Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 12th of March 2023. In today's Millwall news, we're going to start off with this relating to the futures from millwfc.co.uk. This is about tickets for West Brom away, if you are interested in that. The club put out a thing yesterday after the game, I believe, saying that the tickets would go on sale on Monday to season ticket holders and then on Wednesday to members, and that was that. There was no tiers for points or loyalty points or any of that. It was just season ticket holders Monday, members on Wednesday, and it caused some consternation amongst the Millwall fans, especially after the situation with Reading. Although I think Reading may have done many of us a favour, not giving us enough tickets to go and watch that drivel. So, but Millwall have changed their mind. They have changed their mind, and it is bold in a change from previous communications. So yeah, this is on April Fool's Day. I don't know if that was tied into that. If they were playing on April Fool and everyone, tickets will go on sale to season ticket holders with 660 or more loyalty points from 9:30 AM on Monday the 13th of March, so tomorrow. Any tickets remaining will go on sale from 9:30 AM on Tuesday the 14th of March to season ticket holders who have 620 or more loyalty points. Any tickets remaining will go on sale from 9:30 AM on Wednesday to season ticket holders who have 580 or more loyalty points. So they're really tearing it out. So it was Monday for season ticket holders and then Wednesday for members. If you are a member, you have to wait until Friday the 17th of March, which I believe is St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, and that's only for members who have 260 or more. And then Saturday it's 180 or more points, and then on Monday the 20th of March, it's those who have 130 or more loyalty points, and then any remaining tickets will go on sale from 9:30 AM on Tuesday the 21st of March to members who have 120 or less priority points. So they've really stretched it out, tiered it out. So there you go. That's what it is now. That's the state of play. Please do remember, I don't know if you know this, there will be a train strike on Saturday, 1st of April. Even though I think there's a new offer that they are considering, but they haven't considered cancelling the train strikes. Those will still be going ahead. So, yeah, what can you do? Tickets are priced at £25 adults, £20 for over 65s, £15 for under 25s, £10 for under 20s, and £5 for under 17s. Under 14 tickets will need to be purchased with an adult senior ticket, and tickets will go off sale at 2 PM on Friday the 31st of March. We have an initial allocation of 1,558. So again, the word initial. They said that again for the Reading game, though. They did say that for the Reading game. So we will see if will they give us more tickets. Who knows? I don't see why not, because as you can see, it is being stretched out among season ticket holders and members. It's not like they're going on general sale, so why not give us more tickets? Obviously with the train strike, there's coach travel. Coach tickets are priced at £27. So there you go. I just thought I'd let you know that circumstances have changed late in the day on a Sunday, so you may not be aware of that. Well, you are now. You are now. Now moving on to some more fallout from the game against Reading. The 4 takeaways from Millwall's 1-0 win at Reading. Volshammer, a penalty king, a penalty Kaiser, as Win starts a big week in perfect fashion. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. Millwall won 1-0 at Reading yesterday. Here are Richard Cooley's takeaways from the championship match. Gift of the Nab. Anyone who watched Naby Sarr play for Charlton Flegg knows the French centre-back does have a mistake in him, particularly as a ball-playing defender. It was his pass forward which was intercepted by Zion Fleming. The Lions number 10 played a 1-2 with Tom Bradshaw and then showed excellent strength to hold off Nesta Guinness Walker's attempts to stop him surging forward before he was brought down by Joe Lumley. Replay showed that the Reading keeper's foul was right on the edge of the box. Referee Michael Salisbury pointed to the spot with Andres Vogelsammer emphatically doing the business. Both teams struggled to create chances all afternoon, but Millwall were absolutely ruthless and Sarr made a misjudgment. There was still plenty to do at that point that Sarr turned over possession, and Fleming has the quality to make his error pay. German efficiency. When Salisbury awarded Millwall a penalty, then your immediate thought was that either Fleming or Tom Bradshaw, Referee's Championship Player of the Month, would be stepping up to take it. But instead, it was Vogelsammer who took on the responsibility, and it doesn't look like that role will shift anywhere else provided the former Union Berlin attacker is on the pitch. Lumley guessed the right way, but Vogelsammer whipped his effort into the roof of the net for his second goal of the campaign. Mill's only other penalty this season was missed by Benakovic at Bristol City. It's a brilliant finish, said Barrett of Vogelsammer's conversion. He said, "I'm German, what do you expect? Of course I'm going to score." Indeed, and obviously he is a German. I guess he knows how to take penalties. He's got a very quick feet. He's got a quick shot on him, quite a hard shot. But just kind of wondering with the situation in terms of Fleming and Bradshaw. Obviously they're tied on goals, 13 each. Whether it's like, well, neither of you are going to get the penalties, or we're going to give it to someone else. Because if you give it to Fleming or Bradshaw, maybe the other one's going to get it. Even though we don't get that many penalties, do we? We should do, with Cooper being wrestled to the ground like it's a WWE match, but we don't. So yeah, maybe it's that. But there you go. League history makers. Millwall made it 3 successive league wins at Reading for the first time in their history. None of these little stats matter one bit to Rowetts or his players. What is far more important is that it sets the lines up really nicely for the home matches against Swansea City and Huddersfield Town on Tuesday and Saturday night, respectively. 7 points from 9 would probably be a return that most people would accept, and you would imagine that would be enough to definitely be in the top 6 heading into the international break. Not only is that a time when most of the squad can recharge, the likes of Billy Mitchell and Mason Bennett, sidelined with ankle injuries, will not be far off coming back into first team contention after that. Reading have a miserable record against the London clubs. They've drawn 3 and lost 6 their last 9 since beating QPR in December 2019. Millwall stopper George Long did not have a save to make in the 93 minutes played in Berkshire, as they restricted the host with the quality of Andy Carroll, Shane Long and Tom in their ranks to very little. Carroll and Long both tried their best to win penalties and free kicks. The former grabbed Danny McMahon inside the Millwall box fairly early on and hauled both of them over. Luckily, Salisbury did not fall for it. Charlie Cressel's battle with Carroll was one of the most compelling parts of the match. The former West Ham United target man, who got plenty of stick from the bats out away end, looked lucky to escape punishment for leading with his arm on the young Leeds United loanee. But Cresswell definitely gave some physicality back to Carroll in another learning afternoon that will only aid his development. On course, Millwall are 5 places higher than after 36 matches last season, but interestingly are only 3 points better off. The Lions' record at this juncture of the 21-22 campaign was 1-14, drew 12, and lost 10. This time it is 1-16, drawn 9, and lost 11. They have scored 46 goals in the current season, 9 more than the corresponding stage of the last one. Mill could drop back out of the playoffs only if Norwich beats Sunderland in today's midday kickoff, but they feel far more of an established contender this time around. Well, I like to tell you, dear reader, dear listener, dear watcher, that did not happen. Sunderland beat Norwich 1-0. We are still in 6th place. We are still in 6th place after 36 rounds of matches for every team in the league. So, moving on to this, also from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall boss answers question about the decision to wait until late to make substitute changes. Gary Rowetts explained his thinking behind not making any Millwall changes until the closing stages in yesterday's 1-0 win over Reading. Andres Vogelsammer's first half penalty earned maximum points for the Lions, who moved back into the Championship playoff places. Rowetts only used 2 of his substitutes, both in the 78th minute, as Oliver Burke and Sean Hutchinson replaced Vogelsammer and George Honeyman. The introduction of Hutchinson saw Millwall switch to a back 5, Asked if he had thought about freshening things up before he did make subs, Rowett replied, "No, not really. At one point, it looked like Sav had picked up a bit of a stiff back, and I thought about putting Shax in there to add a little bit of energy. Berkey and Dunk are the ones you think give you that little bit of pace and energy out wide. But deep down, if you watch the game for about 10 or 15 minutes spell in the second half, and they kept switching the ball to their wing backs and putting the ball in the box. And that's the point. It always felt like a game where we would switch to wing backs and switch to back three. But I didn't want to do that too early because I think with the temptation after Luton, that if we do it and concede an equaliser, people then attribute the equalisers to a negative substitution. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. They played the whole game like that. You have to have a feel for games. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you'll get it wrong. Sometimes you might get it right, but sometimes you make a mistake, so you end up losing the scoreline. It's not always a formation. At that stage, they're a big side putting a lot of physical pressure on us. I felt Hodgie and Berkey for different reasons to give us the right ingredients at that point. The thing with the Luton was the player who substituted in, I think, George Evans, which is universally disliked amongst most Millwall fans because he's not very good, really. I mean, if you're at a top team in the Championship, he feels like a hark back to days when we weren't very good. Like you've seen the players that have left over the past 3 seasons, and you look, I mean, the squad certainly is better, isn't it? It certainly is a lot better with Fleming, Burke, Bolsauer, Honeyman, Watmore. It's a lot better than it was. You consider players like Bod Barson, and don't want to dig him out, but he's a Millwall lad, but Ben Thompson. It's a lot better, isn't it? I mean, it is a lot better, and the results are a lot better as well. So George Evans seems to be just the last one of those players of that group just clinging on. And he doesn't seem to be up to the level that we're at. But he seems he's a good squad player to have around, and Rowett likes him. So, but a lot of the fans not too keen on him getting involved. So when you bring him on, and then we concede that late goal, they put 2 and 2 together, and you get blamed. The sub gets blamed for that happening. So there you go. Picture special from South London Press. Is a new thing they're doing. Brian Tonk's pictures from the match. Let's just enjoy some of these pictures. There you go. Hendry looks like he's getting kicked up the bum, but I'm sure it's just incidental. That kit does look really good, doesn't it? It does look good. Shame it's not going to be moving on. But we will see what area do next season. If it is them, we haven't got any confirmation. But there you go. Now moving on to the stats from the game. Here we go. I'm going to start off with infogoal.net, and it's the XG and the shot map of the game. So, if you look in the middle above the red FT, you can see the XG for both teams is 0.07 for Reading, incredibly low, and for Millwall it's only 1.12, which, when you consider that a penalty is 0.8 XG on its own, suggests that that was a dire game. So we'd like to thank Reading for not giving us any more tickets. And here you can see Reading's 2 shots, which were quite far away, on the 74th minute and on the 7th minute. So they did even them out, 1 per half. So there you go. And here's Millwall. Millwall shots. Obviously there's the penalty there, which was scored. And we had another chance 5 minutes after that with Bradshaw. But other than that, we had another few chances inside the penalty area. Bradshaw on 84, and I can't even get on it, so small. I can't even click on it, it's so small, and the other one's there on it. On Murray Wallace on 23 minutes, and we had our own long shots from Saville, straight away, and the other one is Fleming right at the end. So still attacking right up in the end. So fairness rating at the bottom. Was that a fair result? 99.55 out of 100. This is the highest I've ever seen on this fairness rating. That is insane. So literally, they're saying, well, one team didn't even have a shot on target, the other team did. That's a fair result. I mean, what more? That's going to be a win to the team that has a shot on target, isn't it? What else can you do? So let's just first half. There you go. So it looks like Mill had 2 shots in the second half, and they were both right at the end of the game. Remember, we just clicked on them. 84 and 87. Boy. Yeah, that was a dire game, wasn't it? But hey, we won, so who cares? Now let's have a look at this. This is from WhoScored.com. Now this is troubling. They've given man of the match to play with the highest rating to Andy Carroll. Obviously, because he won a lot of aerial duels. But when they say won an aerial duel, what does that mean? Does that mean he jumped up with an opposition player and he was the first person to touch it? But what if he touches it and it goes out for a goal kick or a throw in? He's won an aerial duel, but what did it do? It did nothing. It wasn't beneficial. So I think that's what this site is doing. Because I can't see how they've done that. So Reading had no significant strengths, were poor at finishing and gave away a lot of free kicks around the box. Millwall was strong at finishing, lost possession often, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, and were caught offside often. So yeah. So attempts wise, they WhoScored.com have it as 2 to 6, 1 to 2 open play, 1 to 3 set pieces, and 1 penalty to us. So with 6 shots and 1 goal, that's a 16% conversion rate, which is a very good percentage at this level. It's normally around about 5 or 8%. So to have it at 16 is pretty decent. And we do generally have a lot of shots. So obviously not today, we didn't, but generally do. Pass types. Let's have a look at this. I haven't looked at this for a while. So here we go. Passes 460 to them, 314 for us. 24 to 11 crosses, 0 to 2 through balls, 82 long balls to 68 for us. Obviously they pumping it long to the big man. Short passes 354 to 233. Average pass streak 4 for them, 3 for us. Okay. Okay. So here are the attack sides. Millwall mostly going down the right, and they were mostly going down the left. Shot directions, shot zones, 100% outside the box. All 2 of their shots were outside the box. And Millwall again trying to get inside that area before they shoot. That's obviously the influence of Zion Fleming, and others trying to play it into the area. And here's where the game's played. Playing positions. So you can see Millwall a lot more compact. But you can see, obviously, you look at the Reading side, their 18s pushed back, which suggests he was doing a lot more defending than going forward, because we were going down that side. That's a good little spread for Millwall there. Good little spread. You can see the 4-2-3-1. Pretty clear there. Good little spread. For Reading, 4-4-2 looks like. Kind of, I don't know. 5-3-2. And their goalkeeper was a lot farther out than Longy. So let's move on to the match stats here, the match events. Penalty in the 11th minute. They made the changes at half time. Obviously not happy with not having a shot. Then they made more changes. Still not happy. And then we made some changes. They made another change, and there was bookings at the end. So the crowd was 13,265. If you look at the top left and top right by where the club badges are, the average player rating for Reading was 6.21. The average player rating for Mill 6.74, which is quite a big difference at this level, 0.5 of a difference. And obviously, as we just mentioned, they gave man of the match to Carroll, but it doesn't seem to be by much because most of the Mill players are just under that. Cresswell 7.3, Vogelsammer 7.2, Cooper 7.2, Fleming 7.1. So doesn't look to be much in it, and I would probably go for Cresswell, but I mean it's not clear cut just for the way he dealt with Carroll after Carroll smacked him at the start of the game. It was good to see, and it was good to see that it didn't cost us. He didn't go over it. We didn't get that penalty that he tried to get that wasn't given. So good to see that. Now, so who did what during that game? 2-6 as we've just seen in shots. The Vogelsammer had one shot, one goal. That was the penalty. That's all you need. Bradshaw with 2, Fleming with 1, and that was it. That's all she wrote. Possession wise, 59-40. Saville getting his foot on the ball. 4.7% of the match time was with him. Pass success percentage, obviously both teams kind of pumping it along more than playing the tippy tappy. 74 for them, 61 for us, which is a lot higher than on previous away games where we were just pumping it along, trying to get it out, get it away from our area. Seemed to be a bit more composure. Long his pass is still kind of down at 34. Fleming 89. It's good. Wonder how many passes that will be offered though. Cooper of 81. So I'm guessing Cooper wasn't pumping it along too much. Dribbles 4-4. Aerials 1, 34-31. Now 18 aerials for Carroll. That's why he got a high score. But again, as I've said, what do they class as an aerial duel 1? If he just jumps up with a Millwall player and gets the first touch on it, but it bounces out of play, did he win that? What did he win? He didn't win nothing. So, but when you compare that to the rest of the Millwall team, look, all of the Millwall team won aerials except for McNamara and Long. Cresswell had 10. Sam had 3. Bradshaw had 5. Saville had 4. Tackles 11-7. Obviously, with them pumping it long, not really much to tackle, is there? They're not playing it on the floor. They're playing through the middle. So what can you tackle? You can't really tackle if they don't run forward with the ball or do much with it. Corners only 2-2. Maybe they should have tried to get some more corners. Maybe that's the thing they need to do. Kick it long into the corner and then try and bait the opposition to close you down. Put the cross in, get the corner, and then maybe you can use Carroll effectively. But what do I know? I'm not a football manager. Dispossessed 2-6, so that's having the ball taken off of you. So obviously, as we're trying to dribble the ball forward or just run with it, having the ball taken off of us in the middle of the park. So moving on now to more of what we've just seen. But so here we go, Reading team. As we've seen, as we've heard mentioned, they didn't have a shot on target. Yeah, they did not. 2 shots. None were on target. So, what about Millwall though? 6. How many were on target? Oh dear, just the 1. The penalty. So we weren't too hot either. In terms of ratings for Millwall players, here's how it breaks down. Charlie Cresswell 7.29, Jake Cooper 7.2, Vogelsammer 7.19. So very close between the top four. Zion Fleming 7.1, and I think if you're going to pick a man in the match, it would be one of those, wouldn't it? George Saville then 7.01. The two at the bottom of the subs, which you would expect, given them that they had less time on the pitch, which is the way it should be generally. You got George Long at the bottom, and then Bradshaw above that. Okay, so who had the most touches for Millwall? Murray Wallace, then George Saville, then Danny McNamara, then Cresswell. Nice. Okay, and so offense, we were offside a lot apparently, according to them. How many? 4. Okay, that's probably why Bradshaw got a low score. Although Vogelsammer got a low score as well, but obviously he had one shot on target, scored a goal. So that bumps his score up. Yeah. So 4 offsides. Were they offside a lot? Don't know. Shall I look? I don't really care. Oh, once. Okay. So again, good defending by Millwall. Defense, tackles. Leonard with the most. Again, we didn't have much to tackle. They're just going to pump it long and shoot from long range. Right. Who have we got to tackle? Leonard and Honeyman's doing the tackling up the pitch in the middle of the park, closing down mostly. Not a lot of tackling. Interceptions. There's more interceptions than tackles. Vogelsammer and Cooper. Clearances, a lot of that. So here you go. Obviously, pumping the ball long. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Charlie Cresswell 8, Saville 4, Cooper 3, Leonard 3, Zion 3. There you go. And obviously, giving away a lot of free kicks. You've got to clear it when it gets whipped in. Block shots 1. So they had 2 shots. One of them was blocked. And the other one flied over the bar, didn't it? So there you go. That's all she wrote. Passing wise, accuracy. Fleming 89, but off 19 balls. I guess you're probably going to give that to Jake Cooper this week. 81% accuracy for 27 passes. Not a lot of passing going on by Millwall though. 35 is the most from Murray Wallace, then Saville, then Cresswell, and then George Long. Again, the goalkeeper being at the top of passing. He had 27 long balls, so he had 2 short ones, 27 long, and only 8 was accurate. So, but again, I've said this before. In terms of accurate, it's in terms of finding a Millwall player. But if you're playing it over the top for them to run onto, I don't think they include that as an accurate pass, even though that's what you intended to do. So in terms of the plan that you decided to kick it, yeah, that was accurate. That's what you wanted to do with it. You kicked it over into the corner so they could run onto it down the channel. That was accurate. But I think they mean accurate as in finding a Millwall player. So it's kind of messing up his stats, I guess. So let's have a look at crosses and accurate crosses. We didn't have that many crosses, so what have we got there? 10 crosses all game, 1 every 9 minutes average. 4 and 1 for Vogelsammer, 2 and 1 for Saville. Again, Bradshaw 2 and 0. Game to forget for him, I think. Long balls and accurate long balls. We've already discussed George Long, but we've got Murray Wallace 10 and 1. Russell 8 and 2. Jake Cooper a lot better 6 and 3. Danny Mac 5 and 0. Probably explains his low score. Yeah, not the best. So there you go. That's the stats from the game. Before we go, there's one major stat that we need to look at, and it's this. It's the table. I know, look, we're 6 now. I know you want to gaze at the table and wonder at it. A lot of people think, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? It matters at the end of the season. I think with 10 games to go, we do need to discuss and we do need to look at the table. Obviously, Norwich lost at home to Sunderland today in the morning. They lost 1-0, and you can see that bumps Sunderland up to 10th, Norwich stay in 7th, and we stay in 6th. All of the teams played 36 games. There's 10 games left for every team in the league. We have 6 home games and 4 away games. 6 home games or 4 away games. Starting with the home game Tuesday. In terms of the team and the rotation, was it not a good idea for Rowett only to use 2 substitutes? Is he going to make a lot of changes for the starting lineup against Swans? Wait and see. Bring on some fresh legs. Might be a good idea. But, like I said, we need to start discussing this now because there's only 10 games left. 57 points. So, we're going to do a bit of quick math. 57 points, right? Over 36 games. 1.58 free reoccurring. 1.58 points per game. Which Rowetts said he looks at that. How many points? What's our points per game? So we've got 1.58 so far this season. Now, if we take 1.58 and times it by the games we have remaining, which is 10, it gives us 15.8. Let's say it's 15. Let's say 15. We get 15 points for our remaining games, plus the 57 we've already got. 72. Now that's just maintaining what we've already done so far this season. But what you need to remember, we played a lot of the tougher games already. Twice. We played Burnley twice, played Sheffield United twice, we played Middlesbrough twice, played Norwich twice, played Coventry twice, we played Sunderland twice, I believe so, yes, and Watford twice. That was an easy one for us. We played a lot of the top half of the table twice already. A lot of our games left, of the 6 home, 4 away. It's not split evenly, 5-5. It's 6 home, 4 away. So even if we just maintain, even though we've had a hard fixture list so far, it should get easier in the last remaining 10 games. We just maintain our points per game. 72. Now, is that going to be enough? Many seasons it is enough, but you don't know. Some of the other teams are playing each other. So 10 games, right? 10 games. So what was that? 15.3. Or was it 15.8, yeah? So we divide that into 10. Yeah, 1.58, yeah. So let's go back and times that by 10. Now we divide that into 3. How many wins is that? That's 5 wins. 5 wins out of the 10 games we've got left. Plus a couple extra points. So 5 wins plus a couple extra draws. So let's say 5 wins and 2 draws. 5 wins and a draw. That's easily doable, isn't it? 6 home games and 4 away. But one thing to note is that Millwall have not won a playoff game at this level in our history. I believe we played 6, it might be 8. Played 6 games in playoffs at this level. Brighton Hove, Derby, and Birmingham. I'm not sure if there's one more. Maybe no. The only point we've only got 1 point. We lost all the other games. We got 1 point, and that was away at Birmingham. Ronnie Ball in that green kit. I think it was on Sitanta Sports. I believe I watched it on that. So, to get 72 points to maintain what we're doing, we need to get 5 wins out of the last 10 games. That's pretty basic for us. That would be a disappointing for us to get 5 wins from the last 10 games. When you consider that the next 10 games, Swansea at home, Huddersfield at home, West Brom away, Luton at home on Good Friday, Hull away on Bank Holiday Monday, Preston North End at home, Birmingham at home, midweek, Wigan away, Blackpool away, and Blackburn at home on Bank Holiday Monday, last game of the season. To only get 5 wins from those games? To only get 5 wins? I think we might do better than that, but how good can we really do it? So let's give another scenario. So far we got 1.5 points per game, yeah? Let's up that to 2.5. Let's say we get 2.5 points per game. So 2.5 times 10 is 25. That's 8 wins. 8 wins. So we go from 5 wins to 8 wins, an extra 3 wins above what we've been doing so far, gives us points per game the last 10 games of the season, 2.5 versus 1.5 the first 36 points, first 36 games of the season, if you're still following. So just an extra 3 wins above what we've already been doing bumps us up to 24 points. So 24 plus 57, that's 81. Now 81 is a big number. 81 may be enough to finish in second place. And we ain't that far off. We're 10 points off Sheffield United. As you can see, they're kind of imploding. To be fair, I think at this stage of the season, if we were to get in the playoffs, we would probably want to play Sheffield United and not Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have a lot better team. They've scored the most goals. They've scored more goals than Sheffield United. They certainly look quality team. Got top scorer in the league. I think if we were to finish in the playoffs, playing Sheffield United might be a lot more better for us than playing Middlesbrough at the end of the season. But it would certainly be even more better if we could finish in second place. And like I said, if we to maintain what we've already been doing so far in the season, 5 wins. You bump that up just by an extra 3 wins to 8, and it doubles our points per game from 1 point. No, it doesn't double it. It bumps it up by a whole point per game from 1.5 to 2.5 just with 3 extra wins. That's all it's going to take. This is the sprint. This is when you've been running around the track for the 400 meters, the 800 meters, and you get in that last little bit, and you just zoom. You go for it right at the end. You get to the finishing tape, and you stretch your chest out, and you break the tape. This is it, just to get 8 wins instead of 5. And it's not that hard, because, as we've said, let's have a look, see the teams that we've got left and what they can do. So obviously, in terms of home games, so we're going to be playing against these teams and their away form. And we have, first up is Swansea. Where are they? Well, they're 17th in terms of away form. They've lost their last 3 away games. And they are pretty boring and bog standard. They like to play ticky-tacky, slow, passing it around at the back. That's a winnable game. And then we play Huddersfield. Where are Huddersfield? Oh, they're the worst away team in the league. They've only won twice away all season. That's another winnable game. That's 2 so far. Then we play. I'm just gonna look at the home games for us first. We got Luton. Oh, that's not easy. That's certainly not easy. They're the best. They're the best away team in the league. Now here's the thing. We play them on Good Friday at 12:30, and it's on Sky. And Tom Bradshaw probably score a hat-trick. But again, do you think if we win against Swansea and we win against Huddersfield, what do you think the Millwall fans are going to be doing then? As we'll be down to 8 games left. Once it gets to that Luton game, and we keep winning, and every game it drops down a game and we've won, the Millwall fans are going to be going crazy. They're going to be hyper. They're going to be rocking. The place is going to be going crazy. So to play Luton on Good Friday, if we've just won 2 home games and we've got to play West Brom away after that, but then, depending on the result getting there, we could go into Luton with that being a very important game, and the fans will know that. The fans will be. You see what happened against Sheffield United and Burnley. I mean, so then we play. Who else do we play? We play Preston at home. Where are they? They're very good as well. So that's not the easiest. We play Birmingham. Again, not very good away team. And then on Bank Holiday Monday, on Monday 8th of May, we play Blackburn. Where are they? They're 12th. They've lost 10 times on the road. They're the worst away team in terms of defeats, the top 19 team. They got the most defeats, 10. So as I'm going through this, have you counted more than 5 wins for us yet? Out of the 6 home games we got. That's just the home games we've got. We've got 4 away games. So let's have a look at their home form in terms of us going away. So we've got to play home games at West Brom. See, that's not going to be easy. They keep winning at home. So that might be a defeat. Then on Bank Holiday Easter Monday, we go to Hull. They're alright at home. Not the best. Middling. Then we go to Wigan. Wigan. See that there? They're the worst home team in the league. So that's a winnable game. Then, after Wigan, we've got Blackpool. So of the 4 away games that we have left, 2 of them are wins. So we've got 4 away games. 2 of them are very, very, very winnable. The third is as well. That game against Hull, that's a possible win. West Brom, maybe not. But let's say 2. So we've got the two winnable away games out of 4. We've then got the 6 home games, which the only ones troubling me are Luton, Blackburn, maybe Preston. That's easily, we need the 5 wins to get 72 points. I think that's barring a major injury to any of the remaining players that aren't injured yet. I think that's very doable. But to get the 8, I think that's not impossible. To get 8 wins from the last 10 games. That's certainly not impossible. Especially when you consider our away form now, where we're grinding out results against Reading. They didn't have a shot on target. Where what we did up at Coventry, Stoke, Cardiff, didn't work against Luton. Probably should have shut up the shop earlier and took when it was 2-0. But so there you go. If we do get 8 wins out of 10, there's a possibility of second. There's a very real possibility of second. Because we're going to be on 81, 82, 83 points. And all it takes is 3 extra wins based on what we've done so far this season. Maintain the points per game that we've already got, and 3 extra wins. That's it. That is it. Easier said than done, but it is not beyond the realms of possibility. And may I just remind you, Sheffield United and Blackburn play each other in the FA Cup quarter final. One of them will be going through to the FA Cup semi-final. If Blackburn get through that game, they will have to have a game postponed. Sheffield United as well, but Blackburn. And the only place that postponed game can take place is the midweek before we play them on the 8th of May. So there you go. And like I said, I said this before when it starts to get real and things start happening and the Mill fans start believing they're going to start getting to the games, and we broke the record attendance for a league game twice this season against Sunderland and against Norwich. The fans are turning up. The fans are doing their part. The fans turned up against Sheffield United, then we got the result. And they turned up against Burnley, and we got a result against them as well. This could happen. And if we get in the playoffs, as I've said, our record, we haven't won a playoff game at this level. We don't need to go through and get promoted. Well, we probably do actually. It's possible to go through with 3 draws. You can draw in the first leg. You can draw in the second leg. The game will go to penalties. I don't think they do away goals anymore. I'll have to check that. And then you can go to the final. You can draw in the final and go through on penalty shootouts in that. You don't have to win. But here's another thing. Gary Rowett, if he gets us to the playoffs and if he gets a win in the playoffs, his name will be etched in the history books of Millwall as the first Millwall manager to win a playoff game for Millwall in the second division. Division 2, Championship, whatever you call the second tier. And that cannot be taken away from you. That's it. So whatever conjecture and however people judge various managers and players from different eras, if you have something like that on your resume, that's a fact. That's a stat. That's a history. Can't be taken away from you. First Millwall manager to win a game in the second tier playoffs. But again, if he got us promoted in second place, I mean, that's going to be, that'll be mayhem. That'll be pandemonium. That'll be ridiculous, and it will be crazy, and it will be highly unexpected. But all it could take is 8 wins out of 10 games. 3 more wins than we are expected to do based on our points per game so far this season. Just 3 more wins against some difficult games that we've got coming up, some pretty easy games we've got coming up. So there you go. Before we finish and I say goodbye after all that waffling, if you're still listening, the gold star, well done. This is sold out. Mill Community Trust, their event with an evening with Neil Harris, is now sold out. Which is kind of incredible to me. That it sold out. It sold out quite quickly. I think it's only been on sale for like less than a week. Now, obviously, this is being held at the London Golf Club. I've never been there. I don't know how big it is. I had a look on their website. Don't know. They have various function rooms, and they say they can hold. They have a capacity for weddings of between 100 and 160. So I don't know how many tickets they actually had to sell in the first place, but this seems to have sold out pretty quickly in my mind. So again, I don't know. This is obviously a first. It's an event being held by Millwall, a community trust in the area near the new training ground, which a lot of people are suggesting and suspecting and proposing, given the various demographic shifts and various councils that don't like us, that we may be moving out to, maybe not the near future, but maybe in the distant future, this might be where our future is, out this way. And in terms of how quickly the training ground got approved and settled, and they were willing for it to happen, the council, they didn't really oppose it. Maybe there's someone we can work with, maybe in 50 years' time, to build a stadium out that way. Maybe that might be happening. Surely not on Greenbelt land, but maybe closer to town in Sevenoaks or somewhere. I don't know. But it is incredible that this is sold out now. Maybe it's just because the local Millwall fans in that area are quick to support an event being held in their neighbourhood, because they're like, wow, Millwall are holding an event near us. We should go to this. We should support this. This is like, they're bringing it to us. We don't have to go all the way to the Den or that kind of thing, which is a bit of a palaver for them. If it's on their doorstep, they're like, oh, okay. And in another thing is, he's being held at a golf club. Various socio-economic things that we made up, ABC ones and CDEs 2s or whatever they're called, that maybe a Millwall fan who lives in a suburb might have a bit more shekel in his pocket to come out to these events when they're held, whereas you hold an event in a Den that maybe the Millwall fans in that area don't have the extra cash, the extra money to spend on an event like this. I know a lot of the reason why a lot of the cup games have poor attendances It's because the fans have bought their season ticket, and for a lot of them, that's enough. That's it. Like, they're not really bothered about cup games unless it's against a big team. They're not really willing to pay the extra money. So, like I said, it's kind of interesting that this sold out pretty quickly. Don't know what that means. Doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's a testament to Neil Harris, how well he's liked. Maybe it's a testament to the event being held in the area. Maybe it's the people, the members of the golf club themselves, chipping in and paying for the tickets. Maybe it was heavily advertised in the golf club, and they've all bought the tickets up. Like I said, I don't know how many tickets there were. I'm guessing it's between 100 and 100 and 200. But this is kind of impressive. They sold this out pretty quickly. So there you go. If you missed out, you missed out. Maybe they'll do another one, but there you go. Sold out. And on that note, thank you for watching, and